Cignetti. Yes, man. Look at this massive extension for Curt Cignetti, man. Today, $11.6 million. Look, let's break down the contract. He got an 8-year contract extension through 2033. And what I love, man, is this guy's gotten it out the mud. He was linked to the Penn State job, and they said, you know what, Indiana, we ain't finna play, right? We finna give our head coach the job. He is a guy that I love his story. I love where he's come from, and continue to work into grind. And we live in such a microwave society where we want instantaneous success, and we don't want to put the work in. We don't want to grind in order to see the fruits of our labor and our results. And he's the perfect embodiment of putting your work in, grinding, and getting to where you want to be. And as y'all all know, when you coach, obviously in college football, you have to have a master's degree. If y'all did not know that, he started off at JMU, right? James Madison University. Clearly they're usually one of the better Group of 5 programs, in college football. I will give them that. But had to start off there. And usually, like I said, you have to start off as an assistant coach, probably Group of 5, work your way up, build your success there. Then hopefully you get a coordinator job or offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator job, after that being a position coach. And then from there, you have to have success at the Group of 5 level, hopefully. And then as you have more success there, then hopefully get called up into the Power 4 ranks. And sometimes it's not always the Power 4 job you might want. It's not the Georgias, the Alabamas, the Floridas or anything like that. You have to work your way up, probably at a lower tier, right? Like a team that hasn't been good in a while, like a Michigan State, a Nebraska, right? A team like, Washington, right? Not the most desirable, but teams that, you have to go build up again. Now, Washington's good this year, obviously, but those are the teams in the programs that'll be available for you. But he did it. And like I said, Indiana hadn't been good for a while, right? And he got this team last year to a college football playoff, right? Followed that up. They beat Oregon last week, and then you see him continue to have this team project, right? And the biggest question this year was Indiana a fluke last year, right? Lost in obviously the first round. I believe it was to Penn State, if I'm not mistaken. They didn't lose Penn State. They did lose in the first round last year. Can't think of it off the top of my head. But got that team to play high-end football, getting quality recruits, right? A lot of people believe in this program now with the Hoosiers and think they're a national contender. But look at his run. JMU, he started off with $621,000. Then he got a raise to $677,000 with JMU. Then he finally got his big break, his college football coaching break with Indiana. Goes from $677,000 to $4.25 million. And then from there, he goes, obviously that first year, he gets more money, obviously, with $8.3 million. Then he gets the big contract extension. He's going up to $11.6 million in 2026. So again, this graphic alone tells you the epitome of hard work, putting your time in, grinding, and that you're going to see the results in anything you do. It doesn't matter the profession. It doesn't matter if it's college football. It doesn't matter if it's sports journalism. It doesn't matter if it's, building things. It doesn't matter if you're a mechanic. You put in the time, you're going to build the repertoire, you're going to build the resume, the brand, and you're eventually going to do it. A great person in my industry is Hayes Fawcett. Dude started when he was like 7th, 8th grade, I believe it was, and was building graphics for primetime athletes, right? The CJ Strouds, the Trevor Lawrences, the Caleb Williams, and all those guys now are in the NFL. They're in the league. But he was able to build that brand then when he was young. And then now he's the guy. He gets all of the top recruitments, right? He makes all the top graphics in the sport. And he's known everywhere. Been featured on ESPN. So I just say all that to say, it is a process, y'all. Keep going, keep striving. You ain't gonna see what you want to see year 1, year 2, year 3. It is a process. Curt Cignetti is the epitome of that. So anybody out there, you're struggling, it's been tough, hey, God gives his toughest shoulders the toughest battles, and they end up emerging and victorious. So remember that when y'all think about that. And remember Curt Cignetti's story of starting at JMU and look at him obviously becoming one of the top head coaches in college football as it is right now and getting it out of the mud. There's nothing wrong with that, man. So I say that, keep grinding, keep striving. One day you might be like Curt Cignetti in your field.